In the case of Air France and Air France KLM and Lufthansa, I think Carsten and sorry for the brain freeze, Ben in Air France are very able, in many ways, very able executives, by far and away the best that those airlines have had in the previous 20 or 30 years. But I think that there's enormous challenge. State aid is really going to fetter their ability to lower the cost base. The state aid has come with so many restrictions on pay cuts and getting rid of overstaffing and things like that, that I think they will be very challenged going forward for the next 5 or 10 years. The balance sheets will be very challenged. Now, there's a risk in that, and that is, but they will also attract more government protectionism, and we will see more and more government protectionism. And what the Dutch and the French are doing with Air France KLM, we can't get slots in Schiphol, because the Dutch government are paranoid about protecting KLM from competition. So you get a lot of that kind of protectionism going on, but ultimately, in the short to medium term, I think that will be difficult for us to challenge. Over the medium to longer term, I think it will really pose huge. They will emerge out of this crisis with much greater and higher, more inflated cost bases than IAG, Ryanair, EasyJet, and others, who have been forced, because we don't have access to state aid, to really suffer some considerable pain on the labour side, on policies, and with our airports. So I would, and then God bless Alitalia, an airline that's lost money every year for 75 years, has gone bankrupt God knows how many times, and yet in the middle of the COVID crisis, the Italian government runs in and gives them $3.5 billion, with which they make no changes, restructure nothing, and will emerge out of the crisis with only about 2/3 of the fleet that they went into the crisis with, but with even higher labour costs and even more inflexible labour practices.